good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. We're thrilled to have you here once again on a GoZone webinar. This one's pretty unique from some of the things that we've done in the past, although I would invite you to visit our webinar section of our website and in our partner portal because we've got a lot of great content there that we've done in the past, very topical items for many of you that are either in the vertical markets portion of the organization or in the field that address a number of things that GoZone is doing to help add value to the Ruckus networks. This one today, though, is one that we're particularly excited about and really proud of because it's, I think, the culmination of a lot of work over the last several years between the CommScope Ruckus team and the GoZone team to continue to drive more value into the relationship from a technical integration standpoint and also from a go-to-market standpoint. SecurePass, which we'll be going over in detail, is a portion of our guest Wi-Fi or marketing for Wi-Fi platform. We'll go over a little bit of an overview in a few minutes, but the SecurePass functionality is an advanced guest registration module that's an optional feature of our marketing for Wi-Fi platform. It was built specifically to address some needs in the marketplace that we have been coming across over the last several years, working with a variety of the Ruckus salespeople and Ruckus partners out there across a few key verticals, and is actually a really good example of how GoZone is sort of client-driven in terms of its development, but also very partner-driven in the way that we're looking to enhance value in the relationship that we've developed and are continuing to develop with the Ruckus organization. So with that, we're going to dive right in and kind of walk you through a little bit of a walk down the path here. To start off, I wanted to reference some of the vertical markets that we're currently doing deployments into and working in partnership with Ruckus on currently, as well as some more recent wins. And you can see, I won't read them off, but you can see that the GoZone functionality, our applications are in demand and have broad appeal across most of the major verticals that Ruckus themselves goes to market into. One in particular that drove a lot of the development on SecurePass is in the outdoor recreation space. We've got a couple of Ruckus partners that we've been working with for the last couple of years, and that we've developed additional features and functionality around and for. And SecurePass is kind of the culmination of a lot of that work, and we'll go into more detail on that. But it isn't just outdoor recreation that this feature set appeals to. It's pretty much anywhere you've got a large public space where, as part of the business proposition, the venue is welcoming guests in, and those guests want to get on to a high-speed Wi-Fi network for whatever reason, and they're going to be there for a period of time that's longer than maybe sitting down for lunch or going to a concert or something. So we do a lot of great work with large public venues that are in the stadium and arena area and hospitality and what have you. But this particular feature is designed for those venues who want to offer Wi-Fi as part of a transitory residence offering. In other words, it's a campground, it's an RV park, it might be an event or convention center that's serving exhibitors or attendees. It might be an MDU or a resort, some venue that, as part of the offering of a residence, whether it be temporary or longer term, is also looking to provide advanced Wi-Fi connectivity. Because those particular venues have unique needs, and those needs are around not just providing the connectivity, but around a host of administrative and operational support applications to enable that guest to get on, the venue to provide for that without a lot of support or administrative headaches or time commitments, because that all costs money. And so that's really the driver for this, was to figure out a way to leverage the things that GoZone is already doing in support of the Ruckus, Smart Zone and Zone Director and Cloud controller integrations, but specific to those verticals where that advanced guest registration is necessary. So let's back up a second and talk a little bit about GoZone for those of you that are new to us. And I welcome you to reach out to me and get more familiar with us if that's something that you're interested in. But GoZone is a cloud-based Wi-Fi enabled software platform provider. We're based in St. Petersburg, Florida. We've been around for a while. Our relationship with Ruckus has also been around for most of our tenure, but is really advanced in the last 3 or 4 years as we've devoted more time and energy to it, and as you have as well. Our founder and CEO Todd is and Todd's joined and is listening in. So welcome, Todd. Is a Wi-Fi pioneer. Done a lot of great work on the operations side. Has been in the ISP and carrier business. Has more stories about Wi-Fi before it was Wi-Fi than I think most of us know, and has really been a driver for a lot of this investment that we've made in the Ruckus relationship. We are a US-based company, as I said, but we are currently deployed in over 24 countries globally, and we're committed to the channel. So the reseller network that Ruckus has worked so hard to develop and foster over the years is the same reseller network that we conduct all of our business with you through. Next slide, please. In terms of our offering, and we're going to do a deep dive on a component for Wi-Fi platform, SecurePass, but just to give you a little background on the overall portfolio, we have 3 different platforms that we offer, all cloud-based, all Wi-Fi enabled. Marketing for Wi-Fi is guest-facing. It allows venues to present a branded message around that guest registration, collect guest data, and then engage with guests both on-prem and off-prem, real-time and overtime, through campaigns that can be created and launched from out of the platform or through integrations out to third-party applications if that is an investment that they've made outside of our platform. So we play nice with other software, but we also offer more turnkey digital marketing campaign tools to venues and services around those as well. We've got marketing experts that can help venues get into the business of this or support them over time if that's something that they're short-staffed on or don't have current capabilities to do themselves. The second platform, Ads for Wi-Fi, is devoted to advertising content creation and delivery over the guest network. So you can enable advertising messaging through the guest flow in the marketing platform, and then also through branded redirects to landing pages as part of a sponsored ads program within that venue, or if venues are interested in getting into sponsored advertising. So this is a rapidly growing area of our business, and one that we've got some great examples of in a recent webinar that we did specifically on this that you can reference if you have more interest in that particular one. And then last but not least, we've got a presence analytics or location services platform that through an integration with the Ruckus gear allows us to do device counts and traffic pattern trends and things all around traffic, both real-time and overtime, that allow larger venues who are interested in understanding a little bit more about that foot traffic make more informed decisions around digital signage placement or traffic flows or operational or security alert notifications or other things that just knowing where the people are based on the proximity to a Wi-Fi signal on their mobile device. So that's what all what analytics is about. All right, so let's dive into the SecurePass thing a little more deeply. As I mentioned, SecurePass is an advanced guest registration module that is part of the GoZone Marketing for Wi-Fi platform. So venues who are interested in offering guest plans to their guests would purchase this module, and then once that's enabled, it allows them or managed service providers who are providing turnkey IT managed services to create plans that offer up the ability for guests to be presented with a branded registration page, and then select a plan. So 1 day, 3 days, a week, a month, for the designated price that the venue cited, and then deliver that registration or that authentication to that first device, and then with the inclusion of our SecurePass functionality that's new, provide a dynamically generated password that comes out of a CloudPath license that we're integrated back into, to allow the guest to then onboard additional devices onto that same plan, whether that device has the ability to accept a captive portal registration page or not. So the critical part about this is that we can now offer guests logging onto a guest Wi-Fi network at a venue the ability to select a plan, pay for a plan, and then be delivered a password that is going to be good for the length of that plan associated with that plan that the venue set up, utilizing the DPSK functionality in CloudPath, and do it all in a seamless guest experience in an automated fashion that the venue and the reseller don't have to do anything to facilitate except set it up on the front end. Beatrice is going to walk us through an actual example of this visually, where you can see each of the steps, but that's in a nutshell. Yeah. There's an enormous amount of customizability to this for the venue or the operator, where they can set up different plan access features, different time frames, different bandwidth allotments, and even the number of devices that can be onboarded onto a given plan, all of which allow that venue or the operator the ability to monetize this. So plans can be set up at different levels, and they can be charged for at different prices, and done all within the GoZone platform without any other touching of this thing once it's set up.
So Wayne, I think for me, one of the things that have stood out being a part of the project management team and leading most of these deployments, especially the ones on that list, is that with this turnkey solution, what I'm finding for for Ruckus, the reseller, and the venue is that they're getting everything in one seamless way, including for the actual guest at the venue. Now everything's in one centralized location, as well as actually being able to have everything right then and there, but also having such customizability with the platform, truly just bringing everything to a really happy place. Wayne, one of the things that, and I'm going to put you on the spot, is that I want to bring up is you were one of the big proponents of this very early on. What I know you explained earlier, kind of why SecurePass, but primarily for you in these conversations that you've had, why SecurePass? What made you kind of bring the two companies together and literally bring this to fruition?
Yeah, so thanks for that. You know, one of the things I probably should have mentioned when we started this off is that I work directly with the Ruckus team. It's one of my primary functions here at GoZone, and it's been really fun to work through a lot of the technical integrations that we built, as well as a lot of the go-to-market things that we've created together. And SecurePass is kind of the culmination of all that, because the CloudPath integration is the last big technical integration piece that I thought we felt needed to happen to kind of round out the offering. And it's a natural, I think, it's a natural culmination of a lot of the work that we did leading up to this, where GoZone as a company has been evolving, not away from, but expanding into sort of a lot of the venues that we initially started working with that were more on the food and beverage, retail, hospitality side of things, into, you know, more of the large public venue space. And much of that business expansion that we've enjoyed over the last several years, and COVID obviously had kind of an interesting impact on all of that, but was working with and right alongside Ruckus and a variety of people in the Ruckus organization. And as we started to build more business there, and we were engaging more directly with clients in some of these vertical markets that you see at the bottom of this slide, it became clear that that there were some unmet needs out there, especially around that guest registration process. Yeah. So prior to SecurePass, we had developed a module we called Guest Plans, and it was kind of the foundation upon which SecurePass has been built, because with the ability for a venue to create their own plan. Okay. And what that means is I can say I want to charge someone for an hour of access, for a day of access, for a week of access, for a month of access. I can define any time frame I want. And I can create a plan that says day, week, month, year, or whatever. I can also say I want to charge for 10 up and 5 down, or 20 up and 10 down, or whatever bandwidth allotment I want to charge for. And I can tier my offerings accordingly. I can now determine how many devices go along with the plan. Yep. So we've given venues who are in the business of providing this guest Wi-Fi the ability to create products for themselves, charge different prices, facilitate the payment of those plans automatically, because in the old days they'd have to do it either as someone would show up at the campsite or go on to an event center. It was very cumbersome and very, very manual and very, very kind of fragmented. It's all being done now on the platform, and it's DIY for the guest, where we've got built-in integrations into the payment processors. So all that stuff is taken care of for them. And then lastly, and this is really the icing on the cake with the CloudPath licensing integration, is that we now have the ability to offer the guest a secure password, one that's tied to that plan, good for as long as that plan is good for, and aligned with the number of devices that are on that plan. And the operator, the venue, doesn't have to do anything. They don't have to have somebody answering the phone or sending out an email or creating voucher codes or all the variety of ways that people used to do this in the old days. It's completely contained within that plan definition, and it's all automated, including sending out automated emails that tell people what those passwords are, and even reminders for them as their plans are getting close to expiring. Yeah. So it truly, you used the word turnkey before. It truly is a turnkey solution for the operator of the venue. From the guest standpoint, and I know you're going to show this in a second here, it's a very positive guest experience. It's very intuitive. It's a pleasant and simple thing for them to do. But for the operator, the real value here is that they don't have to spend their people's time, which costs them money, administering, managing, providing support, because it's all taken care of for them in the setup and in the automation.
And for me, for being on the support side of the business, when in alignment and in parallel, when we were working on building out SecurePass, now in this new world that we're living in, one of the constant questions is, can we put this on a headless device? People are coming in with cameras that are Wi-Fi enabled, or Fire Stick TVs and Apple TVs and watches. And historically, the answer was no. And now it's like, absolutely, we can. And that's, I think for me, has been one of the most exciting pieces, mainly from answering these tickets, where before it was like, no, sorry. And today we're like, absolutely.
Yeah, Captive Portal, the Captive Portal functionality has been an enabler, for guest Wi-Fi networks around the world. But it does have some limitations. And the biggest one is headless devices, like you said. So, one of the things that we've seen an absolute explosion of during COVID is, the work from home phenomenon. But you also have the kind of transitory resident, or like nomad worker, or whatever you want to call it, where, people can bring their work anywhere. But people also bring their entertainment everywhere. And so while you might be out in a campground or something, or staying at a resort or whatever, it doesn't mean that you don't want to be connected. But connected isn't just, social media or email or those kind of things. It's watching Netflix, or it's connecting a printer if you're in an RV and working, or in a temporary residence and working, or whatever. So adding the DPSK functionality through the CloudPath integration extends the ability for an operator to enjoy all the benefits of the marketing for Wi-Fi platform around branded messaging and data collection and advertising presentation and sponsorship kind of things and promotions and that back end engagement around digital marketing, but also eliminate the list of devices that couldn't get onto that network, which was a constant source of negative feedback on those guest networks.
So Wayne, before I move on to the next slide here, kind of show everybody what SecurePass looks like, how does SecurePass differ from a typical WPA protected SSID? Why would you choose one over the other? I mean, I know you've kind of already explained that, but if we could put it in short, why?
Well, if you think about the simplest way that like a public venue offers Wi-Fi to a guest, the simplest and most unsecure way is just to have an open SSID. Right. There's no protection there, and you get those warnings of you're joining a public network. That's absolutely not what we recommend to any venue. The next level up, and one that does have some security, but it's only as good as if people are passing around the password, is just to have an open password. When you utilize GoZone's marketing for Wi-Fi platform to present a guest Wi-Fi SSID, that SSID is being broadcast within the secure environment of whatever network has been set up. And everything that happens inside of that is protected by the same levels of security that the network itself has. The ability to dynamically generate a password and have that password be aligned with the plan down to the individual guest within a venue provides another level of security, because that password is unique to that plan. And it's only been presented to the guest who paid for that plan as part of that registration process. So it provides a level of security for the guest to feel comfortable that their network isn't going to be compromised. But it's also a level of security for the operator of the venue in terms of liability, because they're now providing that level of security for a guest. So it's kind of the ultimate in giving the guest what they want, which is access for all devices, but the venue, some operational and administrative and liability concern alleviation as well.
Thank you. Mm-hmm. Thank you. Well, that truly explains it. And so now I'm going to kind of walk you through what a guest would experience at a venue. So hypothetically speaking, if I am going to this campground, Lazy Pines campground, and I'm connecting onto Wi-Fi, I would simply click on that SSID, and what we will be shown is this guest flow, which is easily editable, by the way, by the venue. They can simply use it just to focus on giving the guest registration, and or this captive portal flow can be very customized, as Wayne had stated earlier, to include ads, to include promotions. Maybe there's Bonfire Monday or Sunday at Lazy Pines Campground. It's something that can be promoted, or nearby venues, whatever it is, it can do it. That's why this is a very highly customizable feature. So as I go to the campground, I log on to Wi-Fi. The first page I'm being presented with in this flow is that I have the ability to delineate what's my length of time and stay. I choose that. Once I have that, I will then choose, am I signing on with SecurePass, which that verbiage can be changed to say something along the lines of purchase device activations, but we just wanted to show you SecurePass. Sign in with the voucher, which means now the venue has the ability to send out vouchers. Let's say that they have a loyalty group or loyalty program or anything like that. Maybe their incentive is a voucher-based Wi-Fi. So we'll go ahead and give them SecurePass. The next portion of this would be that myself as a guest, I get to choose, I'm going to be here for 7 days. I want to do this for 10 devices. I'm here for 7 days. I'm going to personally attach for 5 devices. In my case, if I'm doing this, it's going to be 10 devices. I do travel with my Fire TV. It is a guilty pleasure. Just is. Doesn't matter where I'm at. I do need to bring a little bit of home with me. From there,
and one thing to point out, just as people are following along, is we created this mock-up example, and so the name of the place and the plan details and the background imagery and all of that are just sort of made up for demonstration purposes. But this is all functionality that's included in the dashboard in the platform, and most of this is customizable, as Beatrice said. So everything that you're seeing here is customizable for that venue, for them to present the branded message in the way that they want, call it what they want, detail out plan details the way that they want. The flow is really what we're trying to kind of demonstrate and show you here, that the guest is going to see or be walked through this process, and the venue doesn't have to worry about any of it.
Absolutely. Thank you, Wayne. And through the guest registration, therefore, now you can go ahead and pick how many devices, the length of time. And with that being said, you're able to, the guest, myself, I'm able to select my username and I'm able to select my password. I'm able to choose how those credentials are going to be sent to me, just in case I forget, which I probably would, and then on to the payment screen. From there, we will show that final page with the login credentials, which on your mobile device or any device, you could do a simple screenshot. Then you get taken to a landing page, which is 100% customizable. At this point, when I'm consulting with our clients, I would personally suggest that they use that for advertising, for some advertising. Take advantage of it because the guests are going to be landing on this page. Right now, they're officially on Wi-Fi. Now they have the ability to pass out that username and password to their family members. And then it will be followed, if you should choose to receive your username and password by email, it will be followed in a secure manner with an email with that username and password. So it's a very simplistic way for me as a guest to log on, right, onto Wi-Fi, already taken care of. It's even for the guest, it's a complete turnkey, simple solution. Wayne, was there anything you wanted to add on that?
No.
All right.
So as we mentioned at the beginning of this, there is a variety of ways that you can reach us and learn more. We'd invite you to do that, especially the first one, which is my email address. So I'd love to get more engaged with many of you and start talking about how we can help. The real call to action here is, if you've got an existing client or a reseller partner who already has a CloudPath instance deployed, or that you're talking to about CloudPath, we've got a way to really punctuate that licensing activity that you've got in place with them, or that you're selling them on today. And that's through the process that we just laid out.